Welcome to our 2022 Clipper 17BH. Starting right in the back bumper here. If you just reach in, pull that cap out of there, inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears in the adapter here. It's helping you hooking it up to your sewer system. The hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here just help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things that bit fresher, and that cap just presses back into place. In this corner, as well as the other back corner here, you're going to find these stabilizer jacks. What they do is they just run down, contact the ground, give it another turn or so just to firm it up, and that'll get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see you got in the unit right now. Keep things firm while you're out camping. Let's step forward under here. We got your sewer system. So that cap, if you just kind of press on it and give it a turn, you can pop it on out of there. You see it's got the same two ears on it that your sewer hose had, so that'll attach the same way where you're just pressing it in, give it a turn, it locks into place, and that's that. On the left you get a gray valve, on the right you get a black, so that black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filled from your toilet. It's of course going to be your dirtiest water, so we'll be dumping that first. After that you'll then come to the gray. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. We'll dump that last to help keep that hose as clean as possible. Let's step forward and we get your power inlets. As you pop that open, you're going to find a little notch in the bottom corner here. It's going to line up with that notch there. Press those in together, give it a little eighth turn, that'll lock it into place, and then you get the threaded collar in the back to really lock it down. Following the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites will have that. You can just plug it straight on in and you're good to go. We'd also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Right beside that, we got your cable and satellite inlets. Just a coax cable plug into there, fire up at your TV location. Towards the front, you got your hot water tank here, so you get that keyway there. You're just going to line that up and you can pop it on open. All your controls for turning this guy on are just inside of the unit. Before we ever turn it on though, we just want to hit that relief valve right there. Make sure a shot of water comes out. A little bit of water coming out of there is just letting you know that tank is full. It's safe to fire it up and you're not going to burn anything out by doing so. Once we get inside and fire it up on propane, I will go over a reset procedure, and the button that I'll refer to is just right here. Once you're done, you're just closing it back up, locking it down with the keyway. And another step forward, we get your fresh water inlet, so that cap just unscrews. You stick your water hose into there, turn on the water, and that fills up your fresh water tank. You know that tank is full once it starts spitting water out of that vent there. Underneath that, we get your city water connection, so the same water hose will just plug into there, turn on the water, that'll just pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Right underneath the unit now, we've got your low point drains, so you get those two lines right there, you get the little caps on them, you just unscrew those caps, it allows the water system to drain itself out. Purpose of that would be if you're leaving the unit for a while and you don't want your water going stale or stagnant, you can just drain it all out before you leave. Or before winterizing the unit, you just want to drain the water out before pumping antifreeze through. Kind of right behind all that, you'll find that little white line there. It's got the same cap on it. You're just unthreading that cap to drain out your freshwater tank. Little storage compartment here, does see straight through to the other side. Inside of here, you'll find your water hose. Inside of that water hose, you'll find that park adapter I was telling you about. It's your 30 amp cord into there, 15 to a standard outlet. Around front of the unit, you'll find this little black box there. So inside of that black box is your battery. As long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, that battery is charging for you. Underneath this cover here is your propane tank, so just reach in the back and you can turn that knob to open it up. It's just your standard barbecue style propane tank. Standard tongue jack up front, one way's up, other way's down. On the other side of the unit, we get your solar panel plug-in, so just a 2-prong plug into there, charges your batteries. Other end of your storage compartment. Inside of here is where you're going to find that little jack for running those stabilizer bars in the back. 2 service ports for your fridge, nothing really back there for you to worry about. They are just for service and there are just vents as well. Right beside that you'll find a GFI protected outlet, so if you're looking for have power outside, you got that right there. It resets just inside of the unit. Up from there we get your stove vent, so of course propane stove is putting off fumes whenever you're using it, so you just want to make sure this flap here is opened up, allowing those fumes out. Once you're done, if you just press it into place, you'll hear a couple of clicks, and that'll just hold that flap into place to prevent any sort of dust from kicking up in there while you're out traveling. Down from there you get the exhaust to your furnace, so if you're ever running your furnace, you just want to make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. In the back you get a little leash link, so if you got the dog out with you, you can tie him down. And then in the back of the unit you get your spare tire. Straight up from there you'll find a pre-wired mount for a rear view or observation camera. So now we'll make our way inside of the unit. Just open up that door. The door is just on a friction hinge, so it just kind of sits wherever you leave it. If you've got it wide open, it does contact your awning arm, so if you're running your awning, you just want to make sure your door's at about 90 degrees or so. Left handle either way will undo it, and then you can flip them out. You got a little pin on either side there, you can push that out and you can extend or retract your legs just based on your campsite needs. And as we get inside, first things first is your fire extinguisher. So that's standard, pull the pin, point and shoot. Kind of straight up the wall. From there we get your GFI protected outlets, so test on the left, reset in the center. So if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. Up above that we get your thermostat, so that's going to be running your furnace. So with that slider all the way over to the left, that's it turned off. All the way over to the right is max heat. Anywhere in the middle is just kind of your temperature selection. Straight up from there, we get your light switches. So on the right there, we get your awning light, does that strip outside. Center right, we have your ceiling light. And just real quickly while we got that on, we get your furnace back here. So you get that one little duct for it, so you can go left or right or up and down. And then also, if we have this door open, you'll find a little switch up in the top there. So that's kind of a safety switch. If you've got this door open, it will turn off that furnace. So you do have to have that door closed to be able to run that furnace. Once you're done, like I said, if you slide that slider all the way over to the left, it'll click, and that's it then turned off. First couple of times you run that furnace, you may get a bit of a smell throughout the unit. That's just the new furnace smell, it will go away. So your awning light, we got that turned on. Your awning itself is just right down here, so press and hold extend and that awning will make its way out. Once that awning is fully extended, you're going to see a little black flap come down as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to want to stop. If you were to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case our fabric will be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. Alright, so that flap's just a little bit sticky, so we'll just extend out a bit and then we'll come back in and it should come down for us. There we go. Alright, so there's our tube. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. What you can do is grab either arm, just pull it down and in, tighten off this knob. Then you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. I feel like that angle better because it does give you more shade. You can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure these knobs are loosened off and the arm's fully extended, just so we're not running the risk of bending. Then we'll press and hold the track, that awning will make its way back in. Again, we're just watching to make sure that our fabric is over top the tube and that we're not going to contact our door. Another thing to keep in mind with your awning is once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you do want to bring it back in just because it is catching all that wind and you do run the risk of bending your arms. And then the rest of your switches there, so center left you've got your water pump switch, so as you turn that on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Beside that's your water heater, so as you turn that on you get that little red light up there letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that sequence is started, that light will go out. It'll try that 3 times. If after the 3rd try it hasn't fired up, it's at that point you'll be going and using that reset button that we'd shown you. So stood right here, you can hear the click of the igniter and the whir of the flame. We know that tank is good. Up top we get your monitor system, so on the left you got batteries. You can see we're currently C for charging, G would be good, F is fair, L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, you go to 1/3, 2/3 and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. Kind of right up on the ceiling from there we get your fire alarm. There we go. And then right beside the entrance we have a TV backer. Right. Power outlet for it, as well as your cable and satellite outlet for it. Storage across the top. Right underneath you, a little light there as well. USB charging as well as a power outlet in the back corner. If you pick up the bed here, you do get access to that front storage compartment. If you're looking to winterize the unit yourself, once it comes time, that one screw right there will come out and you get access to your water pump. LP detector's right by the floor there, so propane's heavier than air, it'll sit on the floor. That guy detects it and starts going off just like a smoke detector would. Then in the dinette, you get your 2 seats, of course, with the table there. Storage right across the top. And with the dinette, you have just the folding table legs, so you just undo that lock, you'll fold the table legs up, then you have a little ledge on either side. You'll take the table, put it down on those, take the back cushion, still in the center, create a bed. There's a little light up there as well. Blinds throughout the unit, just on the tension system, so they just kind of sit wherever you leave them. In the kitchen here, you get your storage up top. So you'll find that binder there. It's got all of your owner's manuals, all your keys, anything like that, you'll find right in there. There's also a little light down here as well. Hot and cold water at the sink, of course, and the cover is made of the same material as your countertop. For your fridge, you just pop that open. On the left side, you get your power button. That button close to flush, that's it turned on. With it out over flush, that's it turned off. Button on the right there with that in close to flush, that's it running on auto. Auto's first going to look for AC power. AC power is taken away. It'll then flip over to gas automatically. If you're out boondocking and you want it solely running off of gas, you're going to have that button come out over flush. That'll run up just on gas. If you were to get that check light there, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, just off and back on to reset it. Little thumb latch there, you push that up and you can open it up. You get access to your fridge and then your freezer up top. A little bit of storage down underneath the sink, just being mindful of our drains and our water lines. A little bit more beside that. Then you get kind of your open storage space. There's a little plug-in back there, so if you're looking to put a microwave anywhere, right here is where I recommend. Stove vent, you get a light as well as your fan. So that's that fan that you want turned on with that flap outside opened up, evacuating any fumes. The knobs, you're going to turn it over light, hit it with the lighter, and you can see she fires right up. I will just mention that the first time you go to use your propane system, especially if you've been away from the unit for a while, will take a minute to fire up just because it'll have to clear all the air to the propane lines. It's perfectly normal. Then you get your pantry space in the back here. Your furnace, which we've gone over. Down below that is your converter. Press the top and center and it opens on up. Get all of your breakers on the left side there. Whenever a breaker breaks, it's going to sit in the middle, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. And on the right side, we get all of your fuses. Into your little bunk space here, you got a little light up on the side there. In the back corner, you get the USB charging. Identical space up top, just with the addition of the emergency exit window. So you're pulling that red tab to get rid of the screen. Take this handle here, throw it outside, hop on out. And then right above our heads, you got your air conditioner. So you get 2 low fan settings, and then high fan. And then after high fan, it'll come into low cool. So that's just cooling with the low fan. And then you get high cool, so that's just the high fan with your cooling. You do also get the temperature selection knob in the back there. You're just going to be leaving that on max cool. There is the option for heat there, so that would be if the air conditioner had a heat pump installed. It does not, so your heat will not work. We do have a dedicated furnace for that. And then into the bathroom, your light switch is just right on the wall there. Flushers front and center for your toilet. Straight up above us, we've got a roof vent, so you're just turning that knob to open it up. Simple as that. And then in your shower, you just get the standard head and hose with hot and cold water, of course. So that's about it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.